Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. We're about to make a tag team match playa. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome to the final Lost in the Midcard being recorded in my apartment as I'm moving throughout the month, but the studio is moving tomorrow, so this will be the final one in the apartment, and then we go down to the basement from here on out. So hopefully we'll have a show for you next week. Keep in touch with us on social media. We'll let you know for sure if we are. I am able to record next week, but just something to keep in mind there. We are going to talk basically a good amount of headlines. Nothing major, but a bunch of little things, and a lot of WWE, because nothing is really happening in Ring of Honor or TNA right now that's worth mentioning, unfortunately. And we'll also talk about the fallout from Elimination Chamber, and one hell of a Smackdown Live we got this week. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps, which you got to do. If you haven't done so already, just search for Lost in the Midcard and hit subscribe. That way you get notified every time a new episode comes your way, every Thursday and most Mondays after WWE pay-per-views. And also, we are subscribable on the YouTube. And the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Head over to the notes section, and you'll be able to get hooked up with our subscriptions there. We are also on the Twitter, as I mentioned, at LITMC Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. Oh, and always with me on the show, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing real good since the last 3 days of WWE product have been really good, thanks to Vince McMahon not being there.
Oh man, I thought you were setting me up with a question of why was it good this week?
Nah, I'm just gonna flat out say it. Vince wasn't in the building. Chip's got to run things, and look how much better the product was from Sunday to Tuesday with Vince McMahon not around to fuck shit up.
Yeah, he was in the White House helping fuck the country up instead, right?
Well, beggars can't be choosers, can we?
Tremendous.
Will you stop?
As you see or heard in the open, we'll lead off the headlines this week with the latest entrant into the WWE Hall of Fame. A worthy induction indeed. It was broken a while back by Mike Johnson in the Elite section of PW Insider and officially announced by the WWE this week that Teddy Long will be inducted into the 2017 WWE Hall of Fame. Teddy Long has done it all in the world of professional wrestling. He's been a manager, he's been a referee, he's even been a general manager, probably best known for being the general manager of Smackdown for quite a lengthy stay, I believe about 5 or so years, before he went to ECW for hair, and then back to SmackDown for another 5 or so years. Does that sound about right, Matt? He had a couple of stints as GM?
Probably. A lot of his career is kind of a blur.
Yeah, my first memories were him in the NWA being a referee. But he also was a manager
for Doom.
Yep, for Doom, and then also, like I said, became well known in 2004 when Kurt Angle was fired from the general manager position in July of 2004. Teddy Long took over, and the rest from there is history. Matt, what do you think about the selection of Teddy Long into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I don't have a problem with it at all. He's pretty much done everything you can in the time that he's been in sports entertainment, from referee to GM to manager to, you name it, he's done it, except for I won't even go as far as to say he's never been in the ring, because he probably has.
Probably.
And I probably just don't remember it. Yeah, so the guy's done everything. I definitely think he's definitely deserving of being in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure. The list of people he's managed is a great one. It includes D'Lo Brown, Johnny B. Bad, Rodney Mack, Mark Callis, as you know, is The Undertaker, One Man Gang, Mark Henry, Jazz, Eddie Guerrero, Joey Maggs, Chris Jericho, Jim Powers, Ice Train, Rosie, Mark Jindrak, Ezekiel Jackson, and the Great Khali. Also, he was a manager of teams and stables. Teams as Matt such as Doom with Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, the Skyscrapers, Dan Spivey, Mark Callis, and Sid Vicious. Also, he managed the tag team of Marcus Bagwell and Two Cold Scorpio. So the dude's been around everywhere. He was actually in Manager of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated in 1990, and also was inducted into the NWA Hall of Fame in 2012. So if anybody is worthy of being into the WWE Hall of Fame, it is definitely Teddy Long. So congratulations to him for sure. Some interesting news for a television station that used to host wrestling, Spike TV. It was announced by Viacom that they will change its name to the Paramount Network coming soon. And they are now going to get away from Spike TV, which of course originally was the Nashville Network, or TNN, which
got Pop.
Yeah, which hosted Raw for a good amount of years, plus ECW. The short time it was on television. Mike Johnson.
I just can't think rebranding a television station this many times is good for your overall image.
I know.
Like, I really don't think this is a good idea.
I mean, it's weird because they lost the UFC because of Fox Sports 1. But
they have Bellator.
But they have Bellator, which is definitely on the rise. It's I don't know if it's quite at the level that Strikeforce was.
It's run by the same guy who used to run Strikeforce. Yeah,
Scott Coker. But it's interesting that the Mike Johnson at PW Insider says there's a possibility the rebranding could change the future interest in acquiring future professional wrestling programming. So I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what's out there.
It probably means he's heard something that I haven't. So
yeah, I don't. I mean, TNA,
I'll tell you right. I don't have any sources at Spike TV, but I damn well know that Mike does. So he's probably heard something that I haven't.
You think maybe an acquisition of Lucha Underground? Because TNA's probably, or Impact Wrestling's pretty entrenched on Pop, you'd think, right? Or do you think the change?
I was going to say nothing's for certain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the brand new management and everything in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count anything out as far as where TNA's going to end up going. Especially if they're not really making any money off of their deal with Pop.
They're just basically there to get it.
They can get out of it and go somewhere else. You know, that would not surprise me at all.
Basically, just there to get the exposure.
Yeah,
kind of deal. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens from here. To see if maybe Global Force Wrestling finally comes to the forefront. Right.
I have a feeling that Global Force Wrestling is going to be merged with Impact Wrestling this year, and it's going to go away.
Yeah, based with Jarrett coming back.
Well, yeah, with everything I'm hearing about the shakeup in the management with that company right now, like, if everything is happening the way I'm hearing that it's happening, I can't imagine how Jeff would have any time to continue to put anything into Global Force.
No.
So, to me, it feels like it has... You have to, just take all the progress you were making with that company and put it back into your old company.
Does he have investors, or does he have does he have a lot of his own money in on it, or does he have investors, or?
No, he had a little mix of everything. I know he's been negotiating with the people who do that American Ninja Warrior show.
Yeah.
To to do something with Global Force, but I really haven't heard of like anything concrete of that actually working out. Mm-hmm. But I know they've been discussing it for a while. But I mean, if he's taken on this position with TNA and he's bringing back Dutch Mantel and Scott D'Amore and on all these people, like to me it just feels like he's not gonna have. Yeah, to me he's not gonna have time to be worried about Global Force right now. Bring everybody you have with Global Force, bring them into TNA. Just drop the TNA name, which I hear they're going to do. Just call it Impact Wrestling or whatever the hell you want to call it. You could completely rebrand it over Anthem Championship Wrestling. I don't give a shit. But seriously, to me, it just feels like we're at the point where Global Force has gone as far as it possibly can go. It's time for them to do something else.
I would rebrand it to NDCW, not Dixie Championship Wrestling.
Oh my.
The old investors meeting occurred not too long ago with Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and they announced the WWE Network is currently at 1.5 million paid subscribers, with 400,000 of those paid subscribers international, with 1.4 million here in the United States. They did not announce how many subscribers are currently taking advantage of the free subscription, but I'm assuming that will ramp up pretty soon, especially if WrestleMania is included. Also from that call, some information on 205 Live. Vince McMahon announced that 205 Live will start touring this year, similar to what NXT did a couple of years ago. They are going to start touring the nation, and obviously the goal is to make it its own brand like NXT. While it's had some growing pains throughout the infancy of 205 Live, Matt, I think it's gotten better the past month. You agree?
No, it's absolutely gotten better. I don't think it's gotten to the point where they can dare enough to take them out on tour. I would go as far as to say that they tour 205 Live with NXT, and they go, and it's like, NXT with 205 Live on tour, and do that, take the champion, take some of the cruisers, because, I mean, they're already doing that anyway, taking some of the cruiserweights on the road with them for the NXT house shows. I would do something like that instead of, I don't think the division is anywhere near being able to run its own touring process right now. No. I think that's a Vince McMahon pipe dream at the moment, and I think it's unrealistic. I do not see that happening right now. I really, really don't.
Some stuff, numbers from 2016. They had over 500 events on 5 continents in 2016. They missed out on Antarctica, unfortunately, and Africa, I think, would be the other one. They had a 29% rise in WWE shop orders, and 15 billion video views over social media platforms. 15 billion. That is not bad ad revenue.
Not at all.
Earlier this week, Eva Marie took to Instagram, posted a photo of what looks like a meeting room with a bunch of people, and pens and papers and laptops and all sorts of stuff. And even Eva Marie captioned the photo, "The team behind the dream. The very first Natalie Eva Marie Summit meeting is a wrap." Basically saying that 2017 she's going to have big and bigger and better things. Matt, she's not rumor has it, I guess it's proven, she has removed the WWE from some of her profiles and such. Is she done? What do you think is going on with Eva Marie right now?
Well, the question is WWE going to let her be done? Because let's face it, she can want to be done if she wants to be. But if WWE says, you got to come back to TV, and she's on a contract, she's going to have to come back to TV. Her Instagram account still labels her as WWE Superstar, Total Divas on E, whereas her Twitter account does not list WWE at all currently. So, I mean, who freaking knows at this point? It's really weird. It's just a really weird. It's a weird situation because I feel like they were doing a lot of great things with her character before she got suspended, and then she had all those movies lined up that she's done, and now WWE is just, kind of being weird about it. So I don't know. I think I think it'd be smart for them to bring her back. I don't think they've gotten everything that they can get out of her yet.
No.
And I just think they're waiting for the right opportunity. And I mean, they're already on the road to WrestleMania, so they don't have plans for you. There's no reason to bring you back to TV right now. So maybe they bring her back after WrestleMania.
I hope so.
I can't. To me, it would just be dumb to let her go. I feel there's too much there that they can capitalize on to just let her walk away. But heck, they might have Kelly back, so who knows?
Kelly. She a video came out after Monday Night Raw. She was visiting friends. She posted a picture of herself with Sasha Banks and I can't remember the third lady in the picture off the top of my head, but they did a WWE.com interview. She confirmed she's going to be signing at Access and teased she might be doing something at WrestleMania. And rumor has it from a guy that apparently has good sources, because he had a track record of being right on a few things, but still, it's a very loose rumor that she signed a 3-year deal and is reporting to the Performance Center next week. So I guess if you see,
I have not been able to confirm any of this with anybody.
Yeah, so if you see her at the in Orlando this week, then maybe that's true.
But I'll tell you right now. I will tell you where there's smoke, there's fire. Former talents visit Raw and SmackDown all the damn time. All the time. It's a common occurrence. This stuff always happens. But I'll tell you what doesn't always happen is these people actually being interviewed for WWE.com and promoted on their social media afterwards.
Yeah.
For them to do that, there's something going on, and I think it's deeper than just an Access signing WrestleMania weekend. Something's going now.
Don't be surprised if she's in Total Divas next season.
That would not surprise me at all.
She's already in the show that's after Total Divas, Wags, on E. She's 30 years old, so definitely has the time left on her side to perform in the ring. And I wrote an article about this earlier this week, and I go, we had Mickie James come back after 7 years away. Kelly's been away for, I think, 4 years. Matt, it's because the women are being treated serious now. So those women in the past that were there to want to wrestle, like Kelly was originally a model. She was a friggin' stripper on ECW. That's how she started off her career. But she turned into a serviceable wrestler after some training. I mean, she wasn't great, but she wasn't terrible after a while. She got pretty decent in the ring. I think the women realize that this ain't a bra and panties division anymore. This is serious shit. And I think you're going to see more of these women return. Matt, does that sound fair to you?
Well, it makes sense to me because, I mean, they're getting pushed with respect now, and they're being treated like they probably feel like they should have always been treated, but they weren't.
I mean,
and at this point, they could be like, well, if this is how the division is going now, I want to be a part of it.
I mean,
so yeah, I mean, I could totally see that being the case of what's going on now.
The women have main evented Raw and SmackDown more times in the past 2 years than they have the past 10 combined. There's been a lot of main events on Raw and SmackDown, and even they headlined a pay-per-view. And of course, the women headlining an NXT takeover is been kind of the trailblazer for that. And actually, it was basically the trailblazer for the women's revolution, pretty much. So, be interesting to see if any former talents do come back. Ratings for this week: Impact continues to plummet. Matt laughs.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't laugh, but damn it, it's funny.
outside of holidays and technical pop difficulties, these are the lowest numbers in 11 months for TNA, 252,000 compared to 299 last week. You have to go all the way back to March 8th, right before a live episode. They only pulled in 222,000. That was the early pop days. So, they had a lockdown pay-per-view 2 weeks prior that only got 210,000. So basically, end of February, early March last year was their low point, and they've kind of come full circle and hit that low point again. Raw.
Sorry.
Monday Night Raw, slight decrease down to just a hair under 3.1 million. Not a huge drop off into hour 3. Still 200.
Well, let's face it, it wasn't Sasha Charlotte numbers.
No.
Like, I know, there's a lot of people in the company more behind Bayley than Sasha at the moment, but I truly think when push comes to shove that Charlotte's rivalry with Sasha is better than anything that she's done with Bayley so far, because it feels more real. And I feel that, Bayley connects with the younger audience, and I love Bayley, don't get me wrong. I just find that Sasha as the more complete and marketable talent of the two at the moment. So, I think if this would have been Sasha and Charlotte in hour 3 like it has been previously, I don't think the ratings would have dropped. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think Vince sees more Cena dollar signs than Bayley, so that's why.
I absolutely agree with you. So,
for being Valentine's Day, SmackDown Live didn't take a hit at all. It lost a whole 1,000 viewers from last week, almost the identical number. And considering it was Valentine's Day, that is not bad. People tuned in.
Yeah, to me, I don't think that's bad at all. They should be happy with that.
Yeah, 2.626 million. People wanted to see Bray Wyatt as champion. And it was promoted on Raw that it was going to be Cena and Wyatt on SmackDown for the title, and that morphed into a amazing triple threat.
That match was fucking dope.
Marquee alert, I think. WWE Match of the Year marquee alert right there for SmackDown Live. We'll get to that a little later, but great numbers for SmackDown Live considering it was on Valentine's Day. For those network subscribers, WWE is beginning to add 2010 SmackDown episodes to the service, and so by next month, they'll be done with 2010, the whole year of 2010, getting those SmackDown episodes in there, and start working on some of the 2011 ones. And for God's sakes, please give us NXT from the Hulu days. Big name has been added to the WWE return at Madison Square Garden. Shane McMahon has been added. He will make an appearance there on the March 13th show. And also added to the show is AJ Styles. So a couple of big names there added to the Madison Square Garden show. I wish this was on the goddamn network, but oh well.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
I mean, fuck, man. Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar. Hell yeah, I want to see that. I wonder if it's so confusing that they're putting those two together, because they're working Brock heel with Goldberg, and obviously we'll talk about KO here on Raw later, but either last week or a couple weeks ago, I know Matt had mentioned there hadn't been a Stone Cold podcast in some time now. Well, it looks like we're not going to get a Legends with JBL show for some time now. JBL took to Twitter a few days ago and said, "Thanks to all who enjoyed Legends of JBL. I loved it. I wish I could do more, but not to be. Maybe one day WWE will bring it back." Speaking of bring it back, are they ever going to do another Put It on the Table? Or whatever that was called?
Oh, bring it to the table?
Bring it to the table.
Yeah, I think they should.
I haven't actually seen it.
But I haven't heard any plans for it. So it might not have gone over as well as they had hoped to had done. So maybe not.
Former WWE champion Batista continues to land top-notch films. Deadline Hollywood reports that he has signed to star in a new film with Jodie Foster called Hotel Artemis. The film plot centers around Jodie Foster as a nurse who runs an underground hospital in Los Angeles for the most sinister criminals, who learns that one of her patients is actually there to assassinate the other. Sounds like a pretty damn cool premise. If you're a fan of Bill Goldberg, good news for you. He's been added to a few more Raws. He's advertised for February 27th Raw, which is the Go Home show, and also March 6th, which is the night after WWE Fastlane.
I wish he was advertised as not being the WWE Universal Champion.
Yeah.
And I was one of the people most excited about Goldberg being back. I loved the match with Brock. I didn't want to see a rematch, which I've been very vocal about over the past several months.
I have never heard you
these guys.
I have never heard you speak those words on this show ever.
My ass.
Yeah.
But the fact the fact that there's a chance, and a very good chance at that match is going to be for the fucking Universal Championship. I truly feel that Vince deserves everything he gets during that match, because I think just the match by itself, had it not been for the title, I think they would have gotten a better reaction.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see WrestleMania 20 style reactions from the crowd for this match all over again in Orlando. And Vince has nobody to blame but himself.
Here are two hopes for this thing, for me. One, Jericho costs Goldberg because he wants to take the title from Owens at WrestleMania.
That would be best case scenario.
Two, Goldberg beats Lesnar, retires the next night on Raw. Then we have a
title up in a tournament.
That, or remember they did a fatal 4-way for the number one contender, the Raw after WrestleMania that we attended. In Dallas, maybe have a triple threat or something. The winner.
Yeah, but that was for a number one contendership. That wasn't for.
Well, have a triple threat. Have a triple threat. Winner walks out with the title.
Yeah, but how many times? That would be 2 times in the span of a year that a brand new championship was vacated and put up in a multi-man match to determine who was going to keep it.
This could be a good time to put it back on Balor, though.
Not that way, though. Not that way. The smartest thing to do is just let Owens keep the title and let him beat Jericho at WrestleMania.
I think
let him lose at the Balor afterwards.
I think the buzz of what happened on Monday, hopefully there's been a lot of buzz of what happened and feedback of what happened and everything and I hope
that's a hell of a lot more of a money feud for Raw's main championship, especially after what they did on Monday.
Then 2 part-timers.
Then there is for 2 part-timers who, one of the part-timers, which is probably going in with the title, it doesn't have a contract after WrestleMania, has destroyed other said part-timer in matter of minutes both times that they've been in the ring together over the past 6 months. It's not a good marquee matchup for WrestleMania right now.
It makes zero sense to me that if Lesnar beat Goldberg at WrestleMania that it's done, because Goldberg's up 2-0 plus a Royal Rumble elimination.
Yep.
It makes no sense that it's done at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so honestly, if Brock, look, we're all expecting Brock to beat Goldberg at WrestleMania.
I'm not on that fence quite yet.
I am. I fully expect Brock to beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. And at that point, it's just like, who cares? Yeah, you finally beat the guy who beat your ass for the last 13 years.
Still made you look like a bitch.
Yeah,
you look like a bitch for the past 6 months or 4 months.
So to me, it's just like, oh, whoop-de-doo, you finally won. Like, to me, it doesn't put Brock over at all.
I mean, if they had any ounce of a competitive balance in the Rumble, I would have been fine with a Lesnar win at Rumble. but Goldberg made him look almost as more of a bitch than he did at Survivor Series.
It would have been better if they were going back to the well for this match at WrestleMania to have Brock eliminate Goldberg at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then it would have made sense. Goldberg would have been like, hey, you took my chance to wrestle for the title away from me at WrestleMania just because I beat your ass at Survivor Series. So I want to beat your ass one more time. It's not brilliant booking, but it's a hell of a lot better than what they put together.
Yeah. And
So,
some people are like, oh, is this another ruse with Kevin and Chris? I go, no.
No, this is most certainly not another ruse. It's Triple H. This was Triple H telling Kevin Owens, stop being a punk ass bitch and be the ass kicker that I hired in NXT. And you need to ditch Jericho, and that's what happened. Will you stop saying
Yeah,
your ass.
Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels didn't exactly hug when Jericho threw him through the Jeritron 5000 or whatever it was back then. Yeah, so I don't think this is another ruse with Kevin and Chris.
No, it's not a ruse, and anybody thinking it's a ruse is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, a stupid idiot.
I won't even give him that dignity.
The big news for The Rock, another WWE champion that is kind of making a couple of bucks in Hollywood.
Couple.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson with a very prestigious award. He was the recipient of the Entertainer of the Year award at the NAACP Image Awards over the weekend. So congrats to The Rock on that award. This one's a little funny. So apparently Douche Matthews and Jeremy Borash are having themselves a little Twitter fight.
I see. I didn't get to see any of it because I heard all the tweets got deleted. Do you have information on what the tweet said? Because I heard it was over, that idiot calling himself the best play-by-play announcer in the world. And I heard Borash went at him for it, and I heard they both went at each other, and then they both ended up deleting all the tweets. Do you have what was said?
I have a couple tweets.
Oh, good.
Josh Matthews says, seems like my first day caused quite the reaction. Obviously, we're all entitled to our opinions, and that makes us what we do so great. And I don't have anything from Borash, but apparently Josh Matthews said, go fly your drone.
Oh, my God.
But, of course, that tweet doesn't exist anymore, so I don't...
Yeah, as I said, I know all those tweets got deleted. I do have some... There was a back and forth between Matthews and Shark Boy today. Shark Boy tweeted, better than Gordon Soley, better than Tony Schiavone. Give me a break at Real Josh Matthews. You couldn't carry either of their mic cables. Which Matthews replied, guy named at sharkboy.net, unverified, is obsessed with me. Send a self-addressed and stamped envelope to the office. I'll send an 8x10 kid. To which Sharkboy replied, great, because I'm out of toilet paper and I'm willing to risk the paper cuts. Hashtag verify that.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Shark Boy said so.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why we call him
dude.
Douche. There's a reason why we call him Douche Matthews. His first name has been legally changed on Lost to the Midcard to Douche Matthews. And here's Exhibit A, B, C, and D from parts 3, 5, 2, 1. And
he's absolutely fucking delusional. He's out of his fucking mind.
Michael Cole blows him out of the water.
Well, Michael Cole actually, without Vince, when Vince isn't screaming in his ear, Michael Cole's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I need to watch that UK tournament.
Yeah, you still haven't seen the damn UK tournament yet. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I want to hear Michael Cole.
You got to see some UK action tonight.
Oh, yes,
on
I did.
NXT.
Yes,
buddy.
I did.
It's good
Mustache
shit.
Mountain, baby. That was some good stuff. Apparently a little bit of a communication breakdown, or Court Bauer was just wrong.
What else is new? Court Bauer was wrong.
Lucha Underground.
He's getting up there with fucking Dave Meltzer right now.
Lucha Underground, according to Court Bauer, is supposed to be on Netflix today. It is not. But Dorian
Netflix
Roldan
said it was like coming in the spring or some shit.
Yeah, Dorian Roldan, the GM of Lucha Libre FMV, the owner of Lucha Underground, confirmed that seasons 1 and 2 of Lucha Underground will be available next in the spring of 2017. So coming soon, but not today or yesterday or whatever Court Bauer said. So, but
Dummy, yeah.
Dummy, yeah. PW Insiders told that when Netflix will take possession of the footage, which is when they will have to upload it to the service, the belief is the series will be available in the United States and Canada. So yeah, not yet, but soon. And maybe I should make Matt get a Netflix subscription and watch it all and catch up because it's good. I fucking love it. Oh my god! For those who watch,
want me to catch up with 2.5 seasons worth of Lucha Underground.
No, I would settle for just 19 episodes of season 3.
I don't even think season 3 is going on there. It's just seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know. Holy shit! I'm about 6 or 7 left before the break they did here in January. They did 19 episodes of season 3. Who knows when the second half comes? Hopefully sooner rather than later, so we can get Ricochet. But rumor has it may not be till summer.
Dude. They're fucking... Dude, I don't know anything about the inner workings of Lucha Underground, but if I was informed that they were doing this to fuck him over, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, look what they're doing to Pentagon.
Yeah, that's some shady shit, dude.
But holy shit. Grave Consequences, which is basically a casket match between Prince Puma and Mil Muertes, was one of the best fucking matches I've seen all year. Holy fuck. That was...
Well, to be fair, it's only been a little over 30 days.
Yeah, and then...
I find it hard to believe that you can put that up against Okada and Omega and Cena and Styles from Royal Rumble and Nakamura and Rude from NXT TakeOver San Antonio. I'm finding that hard to believe, pal.
You have never watched Lucha Underground, pal.
No, that's not true. I've seen some Lucha Underground, just not a lot.
That Puma Muertes match was pretty damn good. Also saw Sexy Star winning the Lucha Underground title. That was an amazing moment too. But of course, that dick Johnny Mundo took it from her the very next week. About time they put the title on him, though.
Better late than never comes to mind.
Back to the original discussion.
Look, we roll around on Lost in the Midcard, dude. It's just how we roll.
About dicking over Ricochet. The rumor is that they may not... they've been... I think January 11th was the last episode of the first half before they take a break. Rumor has that they don't return until the summer. Now, that's not a concrete rumor. That would fucking suck.
That would be terrible.
The reason why that sucks is because it's going to take it's 21 more they did 40 episodes for season 3. So they got 21 more episodes to do. That's going to take over 4 months. So we're looking at the fall if it's summer. My educated guess is they come back around the time that seasons 1 and 2 are on Netflix, which would be the spring. That's my educated guess, but who knows? It's all up in the air right now. According to MMA Fighting, Brock Lesnar has notified the UFC that he's retired from MMA. Not a very huge shock, considering he's suspended for until this summer still.
I think he just doesn't want to be randomly drug tested anymore.
Yeah.
The only problem for him is by quote-unquote retiring from MMA right now, he's freezing his suspension. So, let's say when his contract is up with the WWE after WrestleMania next year, and he decides he wants to do MMA again.
Gotta wait 5 months.
Yeah, he would have to wait. He would have to wait out that 5-month suspension.
Can you do a training camp during that or no?
I don't know that, but I know he can't. He can't compete or be scheduled for a fight or anything while he's on that suspension. I would think he could do a training camp, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the logistics about that, but I mean, in layman's terms, it sounds like it would be something he would be able to do, but I don't know. I didn't realize the ban was already this summer. Maybe it's not a 2-year ban, but I was like, whoa. Time flies when you're having fun. This report originally came in late 2015 from PW Insider, but better late than never, right, Matt? It was announced by the WWE that finally the Andre the Giant documentary is going to debut on HBO.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons is going to be the executive producer for the film. Basically going to go through the life and times of Andre the Giant, a very interesting man. I don't think they gave us a time frame about when it was going to air, though, right?
I don't think so, but I mean, documentaries take time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this has been in development for a very, very long time. You know, so it's nice to finally, you know, get the official word out there and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, this has been, you know, I guess use the words behind the scenes being done for a while, but now it's, you know, it's in the public eye of the media now. So, you know, it'll be out sooner rather than later.
Rosa Mendez took to Instagram on the first birthday of her daughter to announce that she's retiring from professional wrestling, and Matt's in tears apparently.
Can you really retire from something you never did?
Well, she was there 10 years somehow.
Did she really wrestle? Like, really? Like,
No.
Did she ever even win a match? Like, I don't think she's ever won a match. Can you really retire from something you never did to begin with? You know,
gonna have to go to the Pro Wrestling Database to see
if you would have said I'm retiring from my role as a WWE diva, I'm no longer going to be managing. I'm no longer going to be doing Total Divas. Fine. Don't say you're retiring as a wrestler, because Rosie, you were never a wrestler. Just stop. Stop. Enjoy being a mom. Enjoy your baby, and you know nobody wants you to come back. So bye.
Wow.
Well, truth hurts.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Sometimes it just has to be said, JB.
I'm looking at one of the great sites, profightdb.com. Basically, if you want to see the win-loss record for your favorite superstar, go no further than this site, because it even includes all the live WWE live shows too. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last 15 matches she was in were in defeat, going from September 2014 to April 2015. Most of them were 6-women tag matches at live events, but she didn't win her last 15 matches, Matt.
Dude, I don't think she won any matches.
She won a match on Raw. Oh, no, that was a draw. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh! July 21st, 2014. A 4-on-1 handicap match.
Can we even count? Did she get the pinfall?
I don't know.
Then I don't count it. I am not counting a 4-on-1 handicap match as a win.
How about a 6-on-1 handicap match?
Nope, not counting that either. Not unless she was the one in the 6-and-1.
They were stacking the deck against Nikki Bella at that time, apparently.
Yeah, that was during the feud with the Bellas and Stephanie.
She won a 10-women tag match in December 30th, 2013 on Monday Night Raw. Wow. Look at this. Exana, Alicia Fox, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendez, and Summer Rae defeated Brie Bella, Cameron, Eva Marie, Naomi, and Nikki Bella.
I have no words.
Wow. Wow. I really want to count the win-loss record here sometime. There is hardly anything. I don't see a single... Oh! That was by DQ. I thought I saw a solo single win, Matt, but it was by DQ.
Tried to tell you.
Ah!
It doesn't exist.
We got to go all the way back to FCW TV taping.
That's not fair. I'm talking about her WWE main roster career. I'm not talking about freaking CW.
This is great. November 25th, 2010, Rosa Mendez defeats AJ Lee.
Oh, I'm sure that's a night AJ Lee will never forget.
Oh my God, a week earlier on the FCW TV taping, she beat her again. Wow, she beat Caitlyn twice? Wow, man.
But never on the main roster. She never won on the main roster.
She was on the main roster for a hair before that, but no solo wins. Then back to FCW, she beat Alicia Fox in 2009.
Yeah, talk about somebody who's never going to live that name down now.
Alicia Fox.
That's pretty much her name for life now.
Yep.
With like
no solo,
like
0 solo main roster wins.
I tried to tell you.
A handful of tag team wins. July 20th, 2009, her and Alicia Fox defeated Gail Kim and Kelly. Yeah, that is crazy. Well, there you go. That's the most we'll give you for Rosa Mendez ever on this podcast. Let's transition to Ring of Honor, kinda. But it has been announced that at the 15th anniversary show coming up, Lio Rush will get a shot at the World Television title against Marty Scurll. I am very excited to see that. While we have not been excited for Ring of Honor lately, Matt, I'm excited.
Well, their booking's still better than Ring of Honor. Their Ring of Honor's booking's still better than TNA's right now. So
yeah, well, I mean, the 15th anniversary show is going to have Adam Cole and Christopher Daniels. And
I will say I'm very curious to see what TNA's booking looks like when they do that week of tapings the first week of March.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first real taping under the new regime. So I'm really curious to see what they do at that week's tapings, because I think that's going to really tell me how this company is going to go throughout the rest of the year.
When would be the first TV date out of all that?
That's a good question. I'm honestly not sure. Probably sometime early to mid-March.
Well, sometimes there's like a real quick turnaround. Like it's almost that the first isn't sometimes the first taping a near live show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
You might be right. It might be like I would say mid-March at the latest would be the first taping under the new regime, so to speak. So,
but while behind the scenes are kind of a clusterfuck at Ring of Honor, and sometimes and lately most of the booking is a clusterfuck. A Final Battle was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I expect 15th anniversary to be good because I think Daniels is going to win the title, and I've been a big Daniels fan for a long time, so I will be super excited. I was more than stoked when I got to meet both him and Kaz last year at Supercard. But, I mean, add to that Lio Rush and Marty Scurll, and you never know. I mean, they might give it to Lio here, but
I still don't think he's under any type of contract with them right now, so
yeah, he might walk out the door. God, put him on 205 Live.
Be fucking awesome.
And then also we jump ahead another month to Supercard of Honor. Ring of Honor has announced the updated lineup for that event, which is on April 1st. The Young Bucks, or the Bucks of Youth, will take on the Broken Hardys. They say ROH champion Adam Cole is taking on Dalton Castle. We'll see. Cody Rhodes versus Jay Lethal, no DQ match. And for the six-man tag championships, the Kingdom are going to take on Silas Young, Beer City Bruiser, and a mystery partner. Also scheduled to appear, the Briscoes, Jushin Thunder Liger, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, the Motor City Machine Guns, Jay White, La Amapola, Marcella, Marty Scurll, Yoshihashi, Will Ospreay, Volador Jr., Dragon Lee, Leo Rush. Some unfortunate news for the SmackDown, some of the SmackDown roster. Heath Slater posted on Twitter that his rental car got broken into. I don't know if the Ascension or ride in the same car, but they had some stuff stolen too. So that kind of sucks for those
People
guys.
are such scumbags, dude.
They are. Pieces of shit. And wouldn't it have been great if Connor would have caught them breaking into it? Connor would have killed the fucker. Ending headlines on a couple of book notes. Just released today on a press release, thanks to Mike Johnson at PW Insider, a WWE book called The Official WWE Book of Rules.
Just ridiculous.
The press headline is, for the first time ever, WWE is publishing The Official WWE Book of Rules and How to Break Them. Learn how the biggest WWE superstars today, such as John Cena, Roman Reigns, and The New Day, are following in the footsteps of legends like The Undertaker, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, to reshape the rules of sports entertainment. I think it'd be an interesting book, Matt. I mean, I don't know if it's really meant to be taken seriously.
Dude, it's over 200 pages.
It's got drawings and diagrams.
It's like really, it seems really stupid.
I don't know. I think it might be cool.
Dude, they could make a pamphlet with the WWE Book of Rules and be done with it.
It's only going to cost $10.99 on Amazon, so that ain't bad.
What a shock.
What does this say? There's there was a stamp on here that said something with Daniel Bryan, but it looks like Daniel Bryan's writing. He's
writing the forward. Yep.
And then AJ Lee has updated her book signing tour schedule. She's got a book called Crazy Is My Superpower, and she's looking rather sexy on the cover of that book. If you're in the NYC area, she'll be in Long Island, Manhattan, and also Ridgewood, New Jersey on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of April. So go get yourself a book and meet AJ Lee.
She really needs to expand her book signing tour, because that's one hell of a short tour with not a whole lot of appearances.
I know. NXT this week, the headliner, of course, the first time the United Kingdom title is being defended. And we kick off the show with the Authors of Pain, your NXT Tag Champions, killing a couple of jobbers. After the match, they killed them some more. They showed a video package for Tyler Bate, and I kind of like how they're making a big deal out of this match, Matt.
Well, they should, dude. They got to get the UK division over.
Yep, and it's definitely gotten over with the NXT universe. I mean, they love them some Bate and Seven, man.
As they should.
They were yes. An update on Shinsuke Nakamura's medical condition, as I'm doing air quotes. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, exactly. As he's still continuing to compete on all the house shows. Shh.
He's
not really hurt.
Kayfabe's dead, man. This was set up in William Regal's office last week. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Oh my God, they're so hot. Took on Liv Morgan and a partner of their choosing. And gee, Matt, who called that one?
Yeah.
Ember Moon.
So obvious.
Yeah. I think I might have called it too. I don't know. I know you called it, so I'll give you the credit. But I was actually kind of surprised that Billy Kay and Peyton Royce got the win here.
I think they needed the win more.
It gave them definitely. I figured the Ember Moon effect would get the good people the win, but bad girls are more fun. And so yeah, I fully agree there. What did you think of the women's match there, Matt?
They didn't give it a ton of time, but I thought for what it was good. I didn't have any problems with it.
Seen a little improvement on Liv Morgan?
Slowly but surely.
Well, she's getting the time.
She's getting there. I mean, that's what happens when you put the time in. You eventually get better. So
They did an interview on the Performance Center with No Way Jose and Roddy Strong, explaining why they decided to help Ty Dillinger out against Sanity.
I was so happy they didn't get jumped there.
You thought they were going to?
I did. I was like, God, they're going to do a jump ambush at the fucking Performance Center. This is going to be so stupid. I was so glad they didn't do that. Because I just think I think that would have came off as really lame.
DIY's music hits and the NXT universe goes nuts. And if you want a good laugh, look up a tweet from Johnny Gargano right about the time Kevin Owens turned on Chris Jericho on Monday night. That was hilarious.
Just look at the Lost in the Midcard Twitter page. It's there. At
LITMC Podcast.
We keep you entertained.
Tomasa says their dreams came true in Toronto. They won the tag team titles, and their match was voted Match of the Year, which started a Match of the Year chant from the NXT universe. He said it was humbling, and they knew their work was about to begin. They went to Japan and Australia, and in San Antonio, they faced their biggest opponents to date. Gargano says it was the biggest challenge they faced. They saw something in their eyes they never saw again. They saw doubt in their eyes. They may have gotten beaten down, but they will fight back. They may have been beaten down, but they are not broken. I was just waiting for a delete chant to bust out right there.
They're lucky it didn't. It's a poor choice of words in the wrestling industry right now.
Johnny Wrestling says they want their rematch for the tag titles. Paul Ellering comes out and says you can have it in 2 weeks. So, hey, at least he lets you know in advance when you're going to face the big boys. Before we get any further, the Revival attack Gargano and Ciampa behind, furthering my theory that we're getting a triple threat at TakeOver in Orlando. They hit the Shatter Machine on Gargano and hightail it out before the Authors of Pain can get to the ring, because obviously AOP is pissed off at the Revival too for their little sneak attack. They show a video package for Trent Seven, and then a hype package for Cassius Ohno, who is going to be making his return very soon. William Regal says that next week there will be a triple threat match with Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, and Liv Morgan. Winner faces Asuka in 2 weeks, so we're going to have a big show in 2 weeks. We're going to have a women's title and a tag title up for grabs. Do you know what already happens, Matt?
I'm trying to recall if that was... I think that's the final show that was taped.
I was going to ask for your prediction if you hadn't already known.
I'm pretty sure I remember reading the results for both of those matches. So I don't wish to say anything at the moment.
My gut is going to be Peyton Royce, thanks to Billy Kay. Just my gut. And then the main event, Matt. Not much to say about it except fucking awesome. Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, the wave against the handshake, mustache versus mustache. I love
tag team champ versus tag team champ.
Yep. Do you know how old Trent Seven is off the top of your head?
I don't know how old Trent Seven is. I know Bates 19.
Yeah, Bates 19. They were tag champ.
They're tag champs in the UK right now.
Yeah, basically, kind of Trent Seven was kind of a mentor to Bates. Is that about right?
Yeah.
The match started off as probably how you could expect two friends, a little tomfoolery. Especially when pressed up against the ropes and looking for a clean break, and they adjust each other's mustaches. I thought that was kind of funny. But then, it was time to hit, and hit hard did they. It was a phenomenal match. Trent Seven even hit his big finisher, the 7-star lariat. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah, it's the Rainmaker.
Yeah, the Rainmaker. I think it's called the 7-star.
No, I'm just telling the people what the move is.
I am right.
Say it. It's the for people who don't know what the move is. It's Okada's Rainmaker.
Yeah, the 7-star lariat. I was right. Amazing.
I never said you were wrong. Several times before, but not about that.
I doubted myself there. But Tyler Bate kicked out of that to a great reaction from the NXT universe. Just an amazing match between these guys. Go check out the network and check out this match between these guys. phenomenal. These guys didn't meet in the tournament because Trent Seven got upset in the match and on the other side of the bracket, so those two never got to face each other. And Mark Andrews and Peter Gunn?
Pete Dunne.
Billy
Dunne. Dunne.
Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews are going to be on next week's NXT, so something else to look forward to. A couple other competitors from the UK Championship. 205 Live after a Smackdown Live kicks off with Noam Dar, and accompanying him is Alicia Fox, wearing some nice leather pants. Thank you, Alicia. Taking on the returning Rich Swann. Very solid match with those guys. Of course, I mean, 205 Live, they give the guys time. So that was a great little match between these guys. Rich Swann gets a little momentum back after losing his Cruiserweight Championship, hits a jumping Rana, and then finishes it off with a Phoenix Splash to get the 1-2-3. Corey Graves interviews T.J. Perkins and Neville, kind of like what they did with Natalya and Nikki Bella a while back. I don't know. This was kind of weird. I think it seemed like they tried a little too hard making T.J. Perkins being a little cocky here, Matt. Did it kind of seem like that to you?
No, I still feel like he's done some of his best mic work over the past few weeks, and I didn't think this was an exception. I think he finally is starting to feel comfortable on the microphone, and he's not afraid of it anymore, like he seemed to be when he first got up to the main roster. And no, I enjoyed the promo from both sides. I thought it was really well done.
They showed a video package for Grand Metalik. Showed some highlights from the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic against T.J. Perkins. He said that Perkins is a good wrestler, but was disappointed that he lost the tournament. He is here now to show that he's the best, and he says he brings a lot of different moves and will astound everyone watching. Grand Metalik makes his Grand 205 debut against the doormat at 205 Live, Drew Gulak. Poor Drew.
It's Drew Gulak. Who's he jobbing to?
A little fuck up from Grand Metalik, but it's okay. Good improvisation from Gulak to basically play it off as a miscue, and he took advantage of it, so that was perfectly fine. The crowd was great where they were at. Where were they? Anaheim. Crowd was great, though, because they got back on Grand Metalik's side after he pulled off a couple more of his amazing moves. I think they were smart enough to realize that was just a fuck up, and Grand Metalik is a good wrestler. I think the crowd there knew that, so they gave him a pass, and rightfully so. And the guys did a good job of improvising after that mess up there. But a pretty damn good match. Gulak got some offense in, and God, when he puts that gory special on and like basically touches your elbows in a way that they're not supposed to be bent, that's why they call him the human torture device. But Metalik with an enziguri and a springboard plancha, and then hits the Metalik driver and gets the 1-2-3. Akira Tozawa in the locker room, and Brian Kendrick stops by and asks Tozawa how he feels about being Kendrick's protege. Keep in mind that these guys have never talked before, and but in the Brian Kendrick's mind, they're already best friends. He goes, Tozawa can follow his lead and can be as successful as him, and Tozawa says no. And Brian assumes there's a language barrier, and Tozawa says, no, I understand. I just don't like you, and storms off. I didn't realize Tozawa spoke English, Matt.
Yeah, he does.
Cool. He's going to be a superstar, man. He's already getting the pops, and I mean, he showed up on Raw 2 weeks in a row. That's got to tell you something, doesn't it?
You would certainly think so. They're not putting people. Vince isn't putting people on Raw he doesn't want on there.
Main event was T.J. Perkins against Neville. Matt, what'd you think of the main event at 205 Live this week?
I thought it was great. Didn't have any problems with it at all. Like I thought it was another great addition to 205 Live. I really think they found their footing for the division, so to speak. So,
that springboard DDT that Perkins put on Neville, holy fuck, that looked good. And Neville sold it like it damn near paralyzed him. I thought that was insane. Hard hitting. A couple guys that are really doing a good job of showing that they don't like each other. Perkins went for a Hurricane Rana off the turnbuckles, but got blocked by Neville. Perkins then rolled up Neville for a near fall. But then Neville drops Perkins' arm on the top rope as he'd been working on that arm and shoulder for some time now. Neville hits an enziguri and then applies the Rings of Saturn to make Perkins tap out. And Neville is your winner of the main event at 205 Live. And after the match, Jack Gallagher comes out with William III. Neville makes William a javelin. I thought we were going to have to go see William IV here pretty soon. I thought Neville was going to do away with William III. But I think William III is safe and sound. But I will try to get my sources on that. Gallagher hits a European uppercut and a headbutt and knocks Neville out of the ring. And that's how we end 205 Live. And as Matt said, yes, they're finding their footing, and I'm happy, Matt. I was kind of worried, and I was even not making it a priority to see. But the past month, I have thoroughly enjoyed 205 Live. And if they don't do a ladder match, Matt, at Mania, if it's Aries and Neville, I still will be happy.
Man, I'm not sure what the WrestleMania plans are at the moment, but I just feel like they got too many guys deserving a spot on the show not to do a multi-man match. I
fully agree. And boy, that'll be a spot monkey fest, won't it?
I'm sure Matt Hardy will find it delightful.
Delightful. And the Bucks of Youth will say, well, Matt, too bad you can't be on 205 Live. Boom. Raw is in Vegas this week, highlighted by the Festival of Friendship celebration and the Raw Women's title on the line, Charlotte Flair and Bayley as your main event this evening. The show kicks off with Stephanie McMahon. And, wow, how many times has that happened over the past decade?
Way too much.
Yeah. Roman Reigns interrupts, and a Reddit user, an astute Reddit user, broke down the last 15 weeks of Raw. Roman Reigns has been in the opening segment 9 out of those 15 times for a total of 60% of the past nearly 4 months of Raw. Reigns has kicked off half of that. 2 of those 9 weeks were to cut a promo. The other 7 were to interrupt either Stephanie or Jericho.
Awful.
There's some astute Reddit users out there, for sure. Oh, of course, Roman wants Braun Strowman after what happened. And Stephanie wants to act like she cares about Roman Reigns and says she's protecting him.
What, you don't believe her? How dare you?
No. She said that Strowman's facing Mark Henry in a match of epic proportions. She said Reigns said maybe he'll have a front row seat for this one. And Steph said you will have no part in that match. If you do, you'll lose your match against Strowman and probably your WrestleMania opportunity too. And then Vince McMahon said, "No, he won't."
See, I felt like the first 30 to 45 minutes of Raw on Monday were kind of eh.
The first hour was.
And I would just... I had this vision in my mind of Vince on the telephone with Stephanie and Hunter trying to run the first hour of the show and then him getting tired and going to bed. And when he went to bed, he's just like, all right, we're changing everything. Let's do this show right. And plan the rest of the show better.
Vince was dropping a dun in the White House toilet before he went to bed. And once he went to bed, let's run it the way it should. Gallows and Anderson came out. basically sticking up for Stephanie because, Roman's such a bully. And Stephanie did her best Teddy Long impression, and I think I said on Twitter, Stephanie, never say holla ever again. But it leads to a 2-on-1 handicap match, and then I groaned at that because of the obvious, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Thankfully, thankfully, Reigns didn't win the match, as the club beat him down enough to cause a disqualification. But then, of course, Superman Reigns, beats up.
Gotta
beats
take
up
what
the
we
tag.
can get sometimes.
Yeah, we win some, we lose some. We did both right there. They did a bunch of highlights of the friendship of Owens and Jericho since that little friendship started in August. Of course, the list of Jericho that debuted in September when he was writing the list of things he hated about the general manager Foley. Then they announced the HBO documentary on Andre the Giant. New Day makes their entrance to basically push ice cream. And then Bo Dallas ripped up the blueprint, so I guess we're not getting ice cream, right, Matt?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, could you just put Bo Dallas with his brother? God.
Nope.
Please.
Nope.
Kofi Kingston beats Bo Dallas in 3 minutes. And Big E did his best Ted DiBiase impression and stuffed Bootios in Bo Dallas' mouth. As Corey Graves chastised Big E for stuffing cereal down an unconscious man's throat. Neville interviewed by Charlie Caruso backstage. Before she could talk, Neville cut her off and said about asking about Jack Gallagher being the number one contender, and Neville said he's disgusted by him. Gallagher showed up, and Neville told Gallagher that he's just a boy and he's not on Neville's level, which a line that I'm sure Vince wrote, right? Because they've been using that Neville's level a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Gallagher makes his entrance. He takes on Noam Dar with Alicia Fox. And they get the Divas treatment. 3-minute match. Jack Gallagher wins. The best part of it is when Neville came out looking all pissed off like somebody peed in his Cheerios, and Austin Aries goes, he looks like he's in a good mood. Fucking Austin Aries. Get that guy a permanent job on the commentary booth after he gets done wrestling, please. Limo pulled up, Matt. Who could it be?
Anybody.
Samoa Joe and Triple H. Joe's going to have a sit-down interview with Michael Cole. Maybe he'll get muscle busted later. The debut of Emelina was teased and said it'll be worth the wait, and she's up next, and she makes her debut looking fucking hot. The crowd is cheering wildly because finally she's there, and she talks about for how 17 weeks we have waited for the makeover of Emma to Emelina. So here I am. The crowd cheers, and she goes, now we will see the makeover of Emelina to Emma. Thank you. Goodbye. Matt, what the fuck?
Well, we know we know what the fuck, so why don't you explain it to the people?
We know what the fuck because apparently the management was not convinced that this gimmick was going to go over well, so they decided to axe it. Why should you say that? Well, maybe because the gimmick she had before was fucking working, right, Matt?
Duh.
Let's just hope it doesn't take another 17 weeks to get back to Hot Cop Emma. I wonder.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her till after Mania now.
I wonder, Matt. Pair her back up with Dana Brooke, make him face for a little while. Feud with Charlotte. Have Dana turn on Charlotte. You think that's a good direction?
It could have been more reliable to do that if they wouldn't have had Dana at Charlotte's side again on Monday night.
I know. That was out of nowhere, like an RKO. But yeah, there's your Emelina payoff. Bayley got interviewed by Charlie Caruso, talking about how she's going to be the champion tonight. Owens and Jericho are backstage. Jericho saying it's going to be one of the greatest nights in WWE history. Triple H shows up and asks Kevin if they could talk alone. Uh-oh. And that's the end of your first hour. Vince passed out, so let the fun begin, right, Matt?
I'm just telling you that's how I imagined it.
I totally agree with you here, because that first hour was brutal. Strowman and Henry went about 4 minutes, as you could expect. God, how impressive is that running power slam when you're doing it to Mark Henry?
Sure that.
Jesus. No surprise, Roman's music hits and gets on the apron, and Strowman punches him off. Reigns gets back in the ring, throws a few Superman punches, gets him down to one knee, and then Strowman hits a running power slam to knock down Reigns and says, "You can't win!"
Which means he will.
And of course the crowd cheered. Because, Strowman's being built properly. B, people hate Roman, which is not justified, but it's what they do.
Creative sucks. Creative sucks.
Enzo and Cass did some segment with Cesaro. I think that was written by Vince because I thought it sucked. Then we got the sit-down interview with Samoa Joe and Michael Cole, and no surprise, it was a fucking great interview, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Cole was trying to keep pushing the Triple H issue, and Joe was saying, "Are you interviewing me or Triple H?" It's like, "Oh, please muscle bust Cole. Please put him in the muscle buster. Please, please, please." Cole mentioned, I gotta say one more thing. He mentioned all the past relationships of the guys that Triple H turned his back on. And Joe said, well, the big difference is I don't need... Joe said the main difference is he doesn't need Triple H's help like those other guys did. Joe says he gets the job done all on his own. And added that Triple H can rely on a guy like Joe because Joe knows what's best for business. And Joe said people will learn why the creator unleashed the destroyer. The most interesting thing in this that I caught and tweeted, I think I tweeted it at Matt, is, he mentioned Sami Zayn's name, and I go, are we going to get a Fastlane match with Joe and Sami Zayn? Little did I know, Handsome Rusev and Sami Zayn are up next. Rusev basically working over Sami Zayn for 9 minutes, and then Sami Zayn hitting a Luva kick, which is cool because it puts over the Luva kick being a good finisher. So
holy shit! I think I just figured out what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, was it? Yeah, what'd you figure out?
How many weeks is it until Fastlane?
March 5th. So
how many Raws do they have?
I think 2.
Two Raws till Fastlane. Get this. I got it. This just popped up in my head.
What's up?
They wrote off Jericho in the Festival of Friendship. Most likely, we don't see Jericho again until Fastlane.
Or the night after.
I still think we see him at Fastlane. I think he gets involved. I think he gets involved in the main event.
Yeah, article I wrote, I put expect him on Fastlane or the night after. Yeah, I agree.
Stephanie says that due to Jericho's injury, he is unable to defend the United States Championship. And they put it up in an 8-man tournament. They run round 1 next week. They run the semifinals on the 27th. And then they run the finals at Fastlane, which will be Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn. Book it. It just came to me, brah. Just came.
Well, we already figured that was going to be the match, but now we know it's for the time. Now there's an added bonus.
Yeah, put that fucking title on the line, and that means that does not hurt Jericho at all. I mean, he'll be coming back as even more of a sympathetic babyface that got attacked and then got his title taken away from him because he was too hurt to defend it.
Oh my God! Please have him. Owens win at Fastlane and Jericho win the title at WrestleMania. That would be an amazing moment.
See, I don't think Jericho's gonna win.
No, but the crowd would fucking go nuts for it, man.
Yeah, but I don't think Jericho's gonna win. But I think it's gonna be pretty great.
After the match, Sami Zayn was interviewed by Charlie Caruso and talked about how he had a lot of momentum going in, but it sucked that he got cost the United States title, especially by a guy like Kevin Owens. He mentioned that he heard Samoa Joe's comment and how he knows Sami Zayn. He goes, "Damn right, Joe isn't like Zayn. Zayn doesn't like to take shortcuts or sell out." Zayn talked a little more, and then all of a sudden Joe's music hits, and like a dumb face, Sami Zayn stares right at the entranceway, and Joe hits him.
To be fair, from where he was standing, there really wasn't a whole lot of places for Joe to come. So
he could have came from the crowd and up the ramp though. And he had his back firmly planted on the. Yeah.
I'll tell you someone who was stupider on SmackDown when we get to that later on.
Okay. Joe puts on the Coquina Clutch, and there's a great snapshot of Sami Zayn going to sleep with Joe with a smile on his face. I don't know if you've seen that still shot, Matt, or not.
I don't think I have. No.
It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. And Joe told him that when he says his name, you better respect it.
Say my name, put some respect on it.
Yep. Quoting Birdman and Beyonce at the same time. They showed a video package for Teddy Long.
Holla.
Holla, holla, holla. Good stuff there. The Great Austin Aries and Brian Kendrick on commentary as Akira Tozawa took on Arya Daivari. And that was a 3-minute match. But we get to see the sick German suplex, so that was okay. Then it was the Festival of Friendship. So Vegas showgirls on stage, Jericho in a white jacket, a nice little top hat. The list of Jerichos with him. The United States title's around his waist. Jericho introduces Kevin Owens, who walks out looking like Kevin Owens. Doesn't look too excited either. Foreshadowing, kids. There were gifts all covered up around the ring, and Jericho wanted to get something that epitomized their friendship, so he commissioned an artist named Ralph Guggenheim and made this weird-looking statue of two people intertwined and their faces damn near making out. But it cost Jericho $7,000.
Just fucking creepy.
Owen said, "Oh, that was a great deal." The best of all was revealed next when Jericho revealed a painting of Jericho and Owens touching hands. I want that painting so bad because it was so fucking funny. Owens from the heavens reaching out to Jericho. I fucking love that painting, man.
So ridiculous. Like I commented on the segment early. I was like, "This is so bad that it's good," and it's really that was really one of those times. It was just, it was bad, but it was bad in a good way, and the payoff at the end was worth the entire segment. So,
Jericho said you could hang it in your home, and Owens says, "I got 2 kids at home. I want them to see that." Then Jericho hired Friendship the Magician, which was kind of the worst part of the stupidest part of the whole thing.
It's Jericho's version of Yerpal the Clown.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, exactly. It was very much based off of This Is Your Life skit with The Rock and Mankind.
Jericho's like, you're right. He was a shitty magician.
Got him off Craigslist.
And Jericho talked down to the magician and goes, "You know what happens, Friendship? You know what happens when you suck at being a magician, Friendship? You know what happens? You just made the list!" He told him to do another trick and disappear. Jericho said last week he should have made sure Goldberg doesn't make it to Fastlane. The fans started chanting for Goldberg. And he goes, since he didn't do it last week, he's going to call Goldberg to the ring now. Jericho calls Goldberg to the ring. Music plays. But he goes, when Goldberg comes to the ring, you're going to get... And then we had the longest pause before Jericho said, "It!" Goldberg's music hits. The fans are chanting his name. But instead of $5,000 pyro amount, we get sparklers. And it's the return of Gilbert.
I saw it coming a mile away.
Yep. Was this announced ahead of time that he was there?
I didn't hear
any. Did some people have... I saw some people mention on Twitter Gilbert, and maybe they just were good guesses, I guess.
I called Gilbert on Twitter because I knew Goldberg wasn't there. I did not know Gilbert was in the building, but I knew Goldberg wasn't, so I just had to draw my own conclusion of what the hell they were doing. And yeah, I got that one right.
KO beats the shit out of Gilbert. Threw him against the LED board on the side of the ring. Ow. Owens was a little mad because he thought they were going to beat down Goldberg. Jericho said that he's going to beat Goldberg. He's going to have his back like he's done against Zayn, Rollins, and Reigns and all of that. And Owens says, you know what? I got you a gift. You know, it's not much, but I got you a gift. Jericho opens the box. He looks excited. It's a new list. And then, much like a camp counselor realizing they're going to get murdered by Jason, Jericho's look changed and goes, why is my name on this list? He takes the list out of the box that says the list of KO. And then KO proceeds to beat the fuck out of Chris Jericho. And ending it with a nice homage, just like when Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty and threw him through the barbershop glass window, just like when Chris Jericho threw HBK through the Jeritron in that amazing feud, probably the best feud ever of Chris Jericho's. A nice little homage. Kevin Owens throws Chris Jericho through the Festival of Friendship sign, which was made out of glass. And they stretcher Jericho out of the ring. And after the commercial, they show him getting loaded up into an ambulance. Matt, that was a hell of a heel turn, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, he was already heel.
Well, a hell of a healer turn, I guess.
Healer turn. Look at you.
Well, they were both getting cheered on a regular basis.
Well, I think it was more of a hell of a face turn for Chris Jericho. Because Jericho, from the second he walked out onto that stage, he was in full-blown face Chris Jericho mode.
Yeah, so it was like, what am I doing here mode?
Yeah, well, it was clear that Triple H told him to turn on him.
Yep.
You know, it was very, very evident. Because Aaron Owens didn't look happy about it. And I thought that was one of the things that definitely ran home, like, and made it impactful. Is Owens wasn't happy about having to turn on Jericho, but he has to do what Triple H says, you know, because Triple H is the one who got him the title to begin with. So he shows that, you know, while the Jericho was his best friend, he respects Triple H in holding that title more. And I thought it was a very powerful segment. I thought it was very, very well done. So,
a lot of parallels with Kevin Owens and Triple H. Look at all the friends Triple H betrayed in his career, and now you got Kevin Owens with already a growing list of friends he's betrayed in Sami Zayn and now Chris Jericho. So quite an interesting parallel. The come down for that segment was Enzo and Cesaro. That lasted all of 3 minutes. Cesaro getting the win there. They showed a video package of Rosa Parks for Black History Month, and some of the Black WWE superstars told the story about her and such there, and in tribute to Rosa Parks. Charlotte was backstage. Sasha Banks walks up to her. Charlotte talks trash. Same segment they've done for the past year. Oh, big announcement for Raw in LA next week. Big Show and Braun Strowman.
Hot damn.
Actually, it'll be even cooler seeing Strowman do the running power slam on Big Show.
If he can do it.
Oh, I bet he can. Big Show's only $4 bills now, man. I think Big Show probably weighs less than Henry. I heard Big Show's just a hair over 4 right now. Henry's got to be over 4, don't you think?
No, I don't think so. I think Henry's like 350 max. Henry looks big because Henry's not that tall. He's wide he's wide because of his height. I mean, I think if Mark Henry was 7 foot tall, like the Big Show, he'd be lean as shit.
Main event time for the Raw Women's title, Charlotte Flair and Bayley. And this went 17 minutes, and it was a phenomenal match. I thought the last 8 minutes kicked it up a notch, and it was the best part of this feud to date, Matt. I don't know if you agree with me, but they hit a gear. Once they hit a gear in that match, it was just phenomenal all the way to the end. What were your thoughts on the main event of Raw?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. It was Bayley's best showing on the main roster today. So you can't take anything. You can't take anything away from her. I thought the finish was great. We all knew the title was changing hands because we all knew Charlotte's winning it back at Fastlane. It's Raw Women. It's Raw Women's Booking 101. But it was still a great feel good moment. I was definitely happy for Bayley. Now all four of the four horsewomen have been WWE Women's Champ, which is pretty fucking cool. So,
do you think they rushed this too much, or just the right?
No, because if they were giving Bayley another chance at the title, she couldn't lose it twice in a row, and she already lost at the Royal Rumble. To give her another shot for her to lose again would have hurt her badly. So I knew when they were doing this match, I knew she was winning the title.
As Matt
it was not a surprise to me at all.
As Matt had mentioned earlier, the tail end of the match, Dana Brooke made her return after being off for a few weeks. Showed up at ringside. Bayley applied the figure 4, trying to rub it in the face of Charlotte Flair, but Brooke rakes the eyes when the ref ain't looking, and Bayley had to break the hold there. Charlotte then put on the figure 8, but then Sasha Banks shows up, hits Dana Brooke with her crutch, and then clocks Charlotte with the crutch in a nice little angle to where the ref couldn't see it. Yeah, I thought that was well executed by Sasha right there.
I liked it a lot.
Ref never saw it. Bayley to belly after 17 minutes. Great match. Like I said, the last half of that match was phenomenal. And congrats to Bayley, your new Raw Women's Champion.
Until March 5th.
Sasha.
We all know it's going to happen. Let's not even pretend that it's not. So
yeah, that WrestleMania, that pay-per-view streak ain't getting broke till WrestleMania.
Yeah, I fully expect her to lose at Mania. I really even if she doesn't get pinned, I mean it'll still technically be a loss, and I expect her to lose in a multi-women's match at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, then she'll get it back at Payback.
Oh.
She's going to break her dad's record before...
That's what I feel like they're doing, and it's just kind of ridiculous. Like, she's got years on her career to get to her dad's, number of freaking title reigns. You don't need to rush it right now.
I know. I agree. I think you're doing... I mean, she is 30, but at the same time, it's probably... It's not a... it's not like she's been in the business since 19.
Yeah, exactly. It's like chill the fuck out.
She made her debut... she made her debut 3.5 years ago. So, Smackdown Live this week. Let's put it in 2 words. Fucking awesome.
That'd be a good way to describe it.
Your new WWE Champion Bray Wyatt makes his entrance to kick off the show. The Fireflies lighten up the arena. I told Matt this. It's pretty damn cool to see Bray Wyatt standing in the middle of the ring holding the WWE Championship.
And they totally swerved me here. I'll give WWE Creative on SmackDown credit where credit's due.
Talk about the end of the show.
When Styles
or the triple threat.
The triple threat. When Styles comes out and asks to be in the match, and ask for his title shot, and they make it a triple threat. I said, I'm like, they fucking put Styles in this match because Cena didn't want to lose again, clean to Wyatt, and Styles is going to take the pinfall from Bray tonight. So when Bray pins Cena clean at the end of the show, I was like, bravo, WWE, you fucking got me. And I like it when they're able to get me because they don't do it often enough.
And maybe Cena isn't the guy people make him out to be, too. You never know.
Oh, yeah, he just had to have that 2-week 16th title reign. I'm not going that far, JB.
Okay. I'll pump the brakes. Great. Good speech from Bray Wyatt. Crowd chanting, of course, that you deserve it. And crowd cheered for about everything.
Steal that chant from us, man. We originated that chant in New Orleans the night after WrestleMania 30 for Daniel Bryan.
Didn't we originate Fight Forever?
Probably. I'm not nearly as proud of that one as I am of the "You Deserve It" chant from Raw, because we totally started that.
Yeah, I think we invented the Fight Forever chant at TakeOver Dallas last year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I never heard that before until that night either.
But I mean, again, Bray Wyatt fucking deserves it, just like Naomi deserved it, just like Bayley. I mean, she's been on the main roster not for too long. Naomi and Bray have had a journey to get to the world.
Absolutely. No, zero argument.
John Cena came out to the ring and told the ladies and gentlemen to congratulate the new champion, Bray Wyatt. It was kind of funny because Cena kind of played a heel here. He goes, "Oh, you're brainwashing this crowd with the new, making them chant 'You deserve it,'" and then, obviously that prompts the crowd to do it again. Cena says, "No man deserves anything; they earn every single inch they get." Wyatt starts laughing at Cena, and Cena says, "The entire world is looking at that target on your shoulder," referencing the title, and they have a match for the championship tonight, and everybody's excited about it. And so he thinks we should just have that match right now. But yeah, Cena kind of playing the heel there a little bit.
He played a heel in the entire thing with Styles leading into the Rumble.
Yep. But AJ Styles says, "Oh, no. I got a one-on-one rematch, and you get back in the line, pal. I'm first." And
fucking line cutter.
Styles was brilliant here, going, "You could do that line jumping at the airport or the grocery store, or oh wait, not the airport. You got your own fucking plane." Styles is so good, which is why he gets one of the biggest pops of the company. So there you go. Daniel Bryan shows up and says, "We got a triple threat match, playa." Oh, I didn't say that, but yeah. Main event's going to be John Cena, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship in the main event. Dean Ambrose is shown backstage looking pissed off because obviously he's looking for Baron Corbin. Oh, he'll find him later. American Alpha took on the Ascension. Very decent showing for the Ascension. The 10-minute match with the champs, I thought.
They should have won.
Yeah, I agree. Because it was non-title.
Yeah, it would not have hurt Alpha at all to lose that match.
How many times do they make the champ lose in a non-title match? So I'm perfectly fine with Alpha winning here because they do that all the fucking time.
Yeah, but
so I'm fine.
Yes, but they normally do that for people who win at a consistent basis. Like, when was the last time the Ascension won a 2-on-2 tag team match?
Yeah, but I think the tide is turning for them finally.
You know what? I'm seriously not their biggest fans, but man, they've been shit on long enough. It's time to stop treating them.
And I loved them.
Yeah, you loved them a lot more than I did, and I'm just to the point where I'm like, guy, if you're gonna continue to use them, for love of God, start treating them a little bit better on the damn roster.
Well, the 10 minutes against the champs is better than a 3-minute squash match, so they are getting treated better. I think the tide is turning for those guys. After the match, the Usos appeared on the screen, and they made light of the injury when they injured Gable's knee, which was the Smackdown I was in attendance for.
Gable.
And so, yeah, the Usos talked some trash, and I thought it was a good promo by the Usos. I think it's the best. A feud to have to build a WrestleMania is Usos and Alpha. So I'm excited. James Ellsworth is backstage with Carmella and wants to take Carmella out for Valentine's Day. I bet Big Cass has something to say about that. She says, "Let's just keep this professional." And Ambrose shows up as he's still looking for Corbin. And Ambrose told Ellsworth, Carmella's using you. Try online dating. Then Daniel Bryan showed up, and Ambrose goes, can I beat the crap out of Ellsworth right now? And Bryan says, well, yeah, I can make that work. And next up is a match between James Ellsworth and Dean Ambrose, or so we thought. Ambrose's music hit, but no sign of him, so pretty much knew.
I was like, Corbin found him first.
Corbin found him first. Proceeded to beat the shit out of Ambrose. Ambrose got a little bit of a fury, but Corbin hit a sweet-ass deep six into the, I don't know, electronics that are rigged to make it look like they're going to explode, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He went through a table. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah. He went through a table that had a lot of pyro on it. A good segment, though, I thought, to further that WrestleMania feud. Because, God, they're really, I mean, there's still like 5 or 6 Smackdowns left until WrestleMania. I think we're going to get some great feuds, great stories. Usos, Alpha, Ambrose, and Corbin. I don't know where Styles is
Speaking of Usos and Alpha, that's what I wanted to touch on when we got to SmackDown. You kind of jumped over it. After the Ascension match, when the Usos came on the screen and basically told American Alpha to watch their backs, that they were coming for them, and then their music hit, and Alpha proceeds to both stand there looking at the aisleway. I mean, they didn't bring anybody out. They just cut to the back. But motherfucker, if someone just told you to watch your back, you guys should have been back to back. One of y'all should have been looking at the ramp, and the other one should have been looking at the crowd.
Yeah, it wasn't in the script that the Usos were coming out.
Yeah, but it was just the way the Usos worded that promo for you both to be looking at the ramp when their music hit was just plain stupid.
Good interview with Baron Corbin backstage. Dasha Fuentes. She asked him for an explanation of what happened, and he's like, "Are you serious?" He's not champion because of Dean Ambrose, and now Ambrose is in the hospital because of me. Enough said. That's all he needed to say. Renee Young interviewed Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler cutting his usual heel promo about nobody steals a show better than him. I'm kind of liking him a little. I like this different heel version of Ziggler this time around. I just don't know where it's going right now to really get too excited for it.
It ain't going nowhere, pal.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job as the heel, and I like the shtick of beating the fuck out of people with chairs after the match, you know. It's an interesting thing for Ziggler, but yeah, it's going nowhere right now. And he took out the two guys, so unless you're bringing in somebody to stick up for Cruz and Kalisto while they're foot's on backwards.
Cruz was on Talking Smack, and he seemed to be fine.
Oh, so I haven't watched Talking Smack.
He pretty much said he was hurt, but not as badly as Dolph tried to, and when he got back, he was coming after Dolph's ass.
Basically, he's off for a week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think he'll be gone for very long from the way it was described on Talking Smack. Like it was
probably going to be
anything serious.
Probably going to be a kickoff show match at WrestleMania where Cruz gets a big win against Ziggler at WrestleMania. Is my guess.
What a waste.
Mickie James, Becky Lynch rematch from Elimination Chamber. They gave the ladies 13 minutes.
You damn well knew who was winning this time.
Gee, no. 50-50 booking 101. I did like, even though it's been done before, and we all knew what happened when Mickie was acting like she was hurt, but I think she did a good job of making it look like she was legit hurt, and then suckering in Becky for the Mick kick. I thought it was well done, man.
No, I thought it was well done too.
So I'm perfectly fine if these girls are gonna feud to Mania too. Why not? It doesn't feel like it's these two are feuding all the way to Mania, and Bliss and Naomi are gonna feud all the way to Mania. Does it just feel like that's what they're doing?
Well, yeah, because Nikki's going to be finishing her feud with Natty next week. And then she's going to be pushed into the Miz and Maurice feud, which is purposely, to my opinion, why they left Miz and Maurice off TV this week. because they had to get Cena out of the title picture. He lost his rematch, and that's basically how they did it.
And we got a lot of time to build to that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they're doing the injury angle with Naomi, so that's just basically buying time until they do the rematch, and then there'll be something screwy in the rematch, and then we're set for WrestleMania.
And there's something screwy in the neighborhood.
Who are you gonna call?
Someone else.
But yeah, that leads into the Naomi celebrating her championship win, and hey, look, another "You Deserve It" chant. But I mean, she does deserve it, but still, it's overused. It's the new "This is awesome." What did she? Is this a kayfabe injury?
I had not heard about it prior to the match, but I'll tell you what: the fact they didn't let her come out and do her normal dancing entrance, and they brought her to the ring off TV, and they brought her to the ring off of, on commercial break. I'm gonna say they might have been legit, because the knee that she was wearing the brace on is the same knee that collided with Bliss when she hit her botched finish at the end of that match to win. So she might have fucked up her knee when she fucked up her finish. And I did not hear about it until we saw it. And honestly, I forgot to ask anybody about it today. That's my bad. But I would not be surprised if that's a legit injury. I hope if it is, I hope it's not too serious. And I really hope that, she's not going to freaking lose that title so quickly just because of it. I just think would be so unfair to her.
My buddy John Canton says it's just a minor knee injury, just going to rest, and they'll do the rematch in a couple weeks probably. So,
well, there you go.
Main event time on Smackdown Live. Cena makes his entrance, Styles makes his entrance, Bray Wyatt makes his entrance, but then all of a sudden Luke Harper's there. Hi, Bray. Harper attacks Wyatt. Harper then, or Wyatt ran at Harper, and Harper nailed a super kick. And so that was kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it either. It was definitely nice to see.
That kicks off a triple threat match. It only went 14 minutes, but it's nominee. It's a marquee alert for match of the year. Matt, it was fucking insane.
I don't know if I go as far as like match of the year, because we're only in February. And that's pushing it, but it was one of the best matches. It was one of the best matches on SmackDown TV in a very long time. That much I will say.
That doesn't mean
it might be on your list. I don't know if it's on mine. I loved the match. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's match of the year contenderish.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We will. We will see.
As Matt said, Wyatt hit his sister Abigail, and I mean it was like finisher city for the three guys in the last 5 minutes of the match. But Wyatt hit Sister Abigail, and Cena covered him for the win after an amazing match. It was just insane. And after the match, Randy Orton shows up and drops a bombshell that he is respecting his master and not going to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. What were your thoughts of that, Matt?
Wait, what?
When Orton said he refuses to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
I was surprised by that, but also to me, I was just like, well, there's 6 weeks till WrestleMania. There's plenty of time to do this. And then they went right ahead on Talking Smack and like, yep, Battle Royal next week to determine the number one contender for WrestleMania. And I was like, what? Okay. So I'm very surprised with what they're doing right now. And I'm not really sure what they're going to do. I'm not sure if like Harper's going to win the Battle Royal and they turn it into a triple threat, or if they've just decided to go with Styles and Wyatt instead.
That was the thing I was just going to say.
Like I have no clue what they're planning. but you got my attention. I'm very very curious as to what they're going to be doing next week, and I like it. I like when they can make me question what they're doing instead of just being so obvious as to where they're going with things. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next week. I really really am.
Yeah, I think if Luke Harper wins, I think it's obvious. Maybe that's where Orton says, "Well,
I gotta be in there to protect you."
Yeah, and then hit you with an RKO to win at WrestleMania or something. I don't know. Or AJ, because right now his dance card's open for WrestleMania. I think AJ and Bray could have a phenomenal match. Their ending of the Elimination Chamber was great. Yep. So if I'm happy with A or B, Matt, right now. If it's a triple threat with the Wyatt family, I'm happy with it.
No, I'm
especially for Luke. Especially for Luke Harper.
To me, it's something fresh. So I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all.
And it's a nod to Luke Harper for the work he did with Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber. Which opened a lot of eyes, I think. And I'm excited for the dude, man. I mean, he's a talented motherfucker. So I'm excited. And if AJ wins, fuck yeah. AJ's in the main event of WrestleMania just barely a year after joining. So I'm excited. It's going to be a fun SmackDown, no doubt. So it's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Keep in tune with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, and Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Like I said, I'm in the process of moving, so it's going to be up in the air if we have a show next week. Right now, my gut says we will have a show, but of course that doesn't mean technology will comply with us. So, got to make sure the internet's switched over and all that fun stuff. And so, I can't promise you, but we will try our best to get you a show next week, especially with the big Battle Royal showing up here on SmackDown next week. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes. Make sure you search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to do so as well. Go on YouTube, hit subscribe there if you like to do that instead. And the links to all that, again, on our facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard page. Matt is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. I'm on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And before we head out on what was a pretty damn good 3 days of wrestling, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I hope they can keep it up, and whatever they fed Vince to put him to sleep early, I hope they can keep feeding that to him all the way to WrestleMania.
And let's make it at 8:30, 7:30 Central this time instead of an hour into the show.
Hey, better late than never.
I'll ask you one final question. Are you feeling better about WrestleMania? Are you feeling the best that you have felt about WrestleMania to date right now? Or are you still feeling kind of...
a lot of it's still going to rely on Goldberg and Owens in a couple weeks. I really think that's going to have a lot to do with my overall feelings on the show. So,
do you think the turn, the Owens turn on Jericho, gives you hope that Owens keeps the title and it faces Jericho?
I've had hope since the beginning. It doesn't mean hope's going to give me anything.
Does it make it more likely?
No, I don't know. I still think Vince wants to do Goldberg and Lesnar for the title. Until I see Fastlane go off the air with Kevin Owens holding on to that championship, I'm going to believe Goldberg's winning it. So, prove me wrong.
The Vince McMahon dick waving tour.
The Vince McMahon revenge tour, pal. Get it right.
I like dick waving better.
You're weird.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. Have a good one. We'll catch you soon.